Hello guys and welcome back. In the previous video we talked about how C# works and how we will learn in this C# course. In this video we are going to take the first step, installing Visual Studio, the software we need for C# development, and writing our first C# program. I will go step by step, so even if this is your first time installing a development tool, you will be able to follow along without problem. So, what is Visual Studio? Visual Studio is basically IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. This is where we write code, run programs, and debug errors. It also helps us by highlighting syntax errors, showing suggestions, and making development much easier than writing code in a basic text editor like Node. So to download Visual Studio, you have to go to your browser, search for Visual Studio and press enter, and you have to make sure you go to the official Microsoft page where you can see export all versions. When you click this, you have to make sure you download the community version because it's free and it's pretty much more than enough for learning and doing personal projects. So now we have to click free download, and when you install this thing, the most important thing here is after starting the installer, you will see a window with different workloads. The most important one for us is .NET Desktop Development. Select this option because that's what we are going to use for our tutorials. You can leave the default settings for everything else, you don't need them now. So click install and wait. Depending on your internet and computer, this may take a few minutes. So after we installed Visual Studio, when you open it, you see this window which says create a new project, open a project, open a folder, or clone a repository. We're going to use now this tab here, create a new project. So when we launch this, there is this thing called console app, or you can search it from here if it doesn't appear. You want to select the C# because this is for Visual Basic, and that's the .NET I said you earlier. You have to select it and you can click next. We are going to name our first program like this and click on next. Don't look at these things for now, just hit next, and here you just have to hit create. So now what we are seeing here, we have something called namespace, internal class, static void, and some words we don't know yet what they mean. I will explain them in a second. Now let's focus on console.writeline hello world. So if we press this green arrow, or the hotkey here is F5 to execute the program and to run it in the console. In the console window, the program prints hello world. So we can change the text from here. You just come over here. Let's type in something like this. This is our first C# program. Let's run this. So the console now prints us the text we wrote in the double quotes. So when you see this console.writeline, the console is a class, .writeline is the method, and this is the argument we give the method. is basically the namespace is the biggest container. Imagine them like big containers, each containing the other container or something like that. The namespace contains a class. A class contains methods, and the methods need arguments to work. So let's run this thing again. Our first program. Okay, let's remove this dot. I will explain this dot, what it means, in a few tutorials. So this namespace here is the biggest container, like this. Let me show you like this. So the namespace is called first program here. The internal class, which is just ignore this word for now, just look at the word class program. The program class is inside the namespace first program. So this is the main method. The main method is where our program really executes the code inside it. So if I, let's say, write this thing outside of the main method, it gives us error, and when we try to run it, it doesn't want to run like that because it can't show anything. So imagine that the main method is the container where you store all of your socks, let's say, for example. And if you throw your sock out of the container, you've lost it. I can explain it like this for now. So that's basically it for the first C# program. We will understand other classes, other methods. Further in the tutorials we will understand how we can create classes and create methods inside them. So we will use the console application for first, and then we will move on to something like this. Just let me show you. After the console app, which we will focus on for now, we will use this thing also. When we run this thing, it displays us this window which we type in. That's the user input. We don't type it in the console. The console here doesn't make anything. It just stays here. So let's say 3 numbers. And this is an exercise that I did a couple of months ago, so you don't have to understand this for now. I'm just showing you what we will use further in the tutorials. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.